Hi, I'm Chef Mike Anthony from Gramercy Tavern, and I'd like to show you how to shuck an oyster. This oyster is a Peeko oyster from the Peconic Bay, named after the place where it's grown. A lot of people think that oysters are inaccessible at home, but they're really very easy. They require a knife. This is an oyster knife. This might be a little sharper than most oyster knives, but it's really very easy. We want to put the tip of this oyster knife right in the hinge of the oyster. I've washed these ahead of time so there's no sand and mud on them. And then I just use a little bit of pressure to slip the tip of the knife in between the top and the bottom hinge. And I'm going to use this towel to protect my other hand in case there's any slips. And I'm just going to ease this knife back and forth until I feel the oyster, which is alive in the shell, gives up and it opens up. And as soon as that happens, just pops just a touch, any mud that comes off of the tip of my oyster I'm going to wipe off. And then I'm going to slip the tip of this blade in between the top and the bottom and create just a little bit of leverage all the way down until I can just easily pop this top right off. Once that happens, I'm going to set it aside, and then I'm going to just encourage any of the shell or sand or silt that's inside the lip of the oyster to come out. And I want to leave this oyster just as if it were untouched. And I'm only going to slip the blade of this knife underneath the abductor muscle, which is right here. It's just a tiny, about the size of the head of an eraser. And as soon as that oyster is loose, it is ready. I'm going to leave it so that it's parallel to the plate and it retains all of that briny liquid. And there you go. It's all set. I'll show you one more. It's as easy as slipping the knife into the hinged area of the oyster with just a little wiggle and not a lot of pressure. We don't want any accidents. And then I slip this knife up the side of the top shell, detaching the top shell carefully so that I don't lose any of the meat. And then I slip the tip of this knife right underneath that abductor muscle, which you can hear it scraping the shell just a little bit. And then that's it. Eating oysters is not intimidating. First of all, you can eat them just natural. They're delicious. They're briny and fantastic. It's a perfect sustainable choice for eating a regional seafood. But if you'd like to zip it up a little bit, choose your favorite hot sauce. I like this one. It was made by a friend of mine, and I'm going to put just a little drop on top of that oyster and tip it back. Dynamite. Here's one more way to eat an oyster with just a couple more ingredients. A drizzle of sesame oil, a little bit of diced raw ginger, some mint, and a nice squeeze of citrus, in this case lime. And just give it 2 minutes to marinate, share its flavors. Give it a little stir. And this mimics a classic mignonette. So the ginger acts as the peppery quality, the lime is the citrusy quality, and then the aromatics come from the sesame oil and the mint. And I'm just gonna spoon this right over the top of my oyster. Same story. Keep all that liquid in there and kick it back. Fresh and delicious. That's how you eat an oyster.